Hi, I'm here to talk about who I think the top 10 hottest characters in Code Geass are. I have done a list of the top 10 most beautiful Code Geass characters, but my feelings about the most beautiful Code Geass characters and the hottest Code Geass characters are different. And Code Geass has some of the best visuals that I've ever seen, and has some of the most visually appealing characters of all time, in my opinion. And when it comes to the characters on the list, I'm factoring in spin offs and stuff and other stuff, so I made sure to include characters that all grow up to be adults at some point. So if there seems to be any odd choices, please don't have any worries about that. In 10th place, Cecile Crewmy. She has a really likable personality, really good interactions with other characters, and she's a very lovely looking character. And she's a character that is so sweet that it's hard to not enjoy it when she shows up. There's a lot of really good things about her. In ninth place is Valletta New, a very attractive character who has a really interesting storyline where first she seems somewhat unlikable, but she becomes a more nuanced character and her humanity is explored very well, and she certainly gets a lot of opportunities to show how hot she can be. In eighth place is Millie Ashford, a character that seems to really enjoy the fan service aspects of Code Geass. I think that she could enjoy those aspects more than anybody else in the show. So she certainly has the personality to be a haunt character, and I think that she does have a really good design and can be a very appealing character. Um, In seventh place is Suzaku Kurugi. There are times where Suzaku is not the most appealing in terms of his personality, but he does have a lot of humanity, and there is so much nuance to him that makes him such a fascinating character. I love his very complicated dynamic with Lelouch, and he is an incredibly handsome character, very attractive, and I think that a lot of fans would have them in their uh, would love to have Suzaku in their top five. I could see a lot of them having Suzaku in their top two. He's not quite to that level for me, but he is definitely a hot character, so he really had to be on my list. In sixth place is Prince Schneisel, a character that likely could have been even higher if he was a more responsible character, incredibly charming, deeply captivating character that has an amazing storyline. He adds so much to what goes on in Code Geass, and he is an incredibly interesting character in so many episodes. I love him a lot. In fifth place is Colin Stotfeld. I think a lot of people consider Colin to be the hottest character in Code Geass, and I could definitely understand that. She was the first character that ever really stood out to me when I first started seeing visuals from Code Geass. She is a very attractive character, but there's so much more to her than that. She has an incredibly interesting storyline with her mother. Um, she has a tragic backstory. She has great interactions with Lelouch. She's a character that is certainly not a perfect character in terms of morality, but she does really care about others, and there's so much to her that is fascinating, and she gets a lot of opportunities to show how awesome she can be, and she's certainly proven how hot she can be. In fourth place is C2. She's a character that's incredibly cool, and she is very clever. Her interactions with Lelouch are very entertaining. They're often cute, and at times they're often very hot. She is a very attractive character that has shown off her hotness in a lot of different ways. She is ridiculously beautiful, and she is a delight to see. And she's one of the most awesome female characters in anime, and Code Geass has a lot of the most awesome female characters in anime, and I love C2 a lot. In third place is a character that I think people would have lower in their lists. For me, though, is Princess Cornelia. And I could understand Cornelia being in third place being quite high. She is certainly not the most likable character in Code Geass, but she does have a lot of nuance, and there are a lot of moments where I don't approve of what she's doing, but I understand her storyline. Where I feel like a lot of the villains in Code Geass are so misguided they could come across as very over the top. I feel like Cornelia is a villain that really doesn't think of herself as a villain and is incredibly tragic and sympathetic in a lot of instances, and she really does grow and become more likable, and she is incredibly attractive. And I feel like Cornelia has a hotness that is more subtle than the female characters, and there's something oddly appealing about that, where Cornelia can wear an outfit on for battles that is so covered up but so attractive and elegant and beautiful. And Cornelia has much less fan service than a lot of the other prominent female characters in Code Geass, and she is so beautiful, so attractive, so awesome, and is such a great character that has so many brilliant moments that she doesn't even need those fan service moments, and that is what a great character she can really be. In second place, Lelouch Lamperouge. In my opinion, Lelouch is the most attractive male character from an anime that I've ever seen. Number one, no contest for me. Lelouch is so ridiculously handsome. Easily one of the most attractive male characters in fiction in general. So deeply cool, has one of the most brilliantly handled, most fascinating storylines of a protagonist. He has so many cool moments, so many layers to his morality. Uh, Easily one of the most morally complicated characters that I've ever seen. And there's so much to him that makes him so fascinating, and he is so endlessly great to look at because he is so ridiculously hot. And despite all that, he is not quite my number one. Number one for me, I think, is an opinion that a lot of people won't agree with, but it's certainly how I feel. Number one for me is Shirley Finetti. I feel like what makes a character hot isn't just looks, although Shirley has one of the most adorable looking designs of a fictional character that I've ever seen in my entire life. Shirley is a character that I feel deeply connected to, that I have such a soft spot in my heart for, because I love her personality so much. She cares so much about others, and she is such a deeply shy character that is very afraid to express herself, to really step up and do a lot of things. But she cares so much that she occasionally has had chances where she's really stepped up, and she is such a fascinating character that isn't as important to the story as other characters, but on an emotional impact, she had the most sentimental impact on my heart, and I felt so deeply attached to her and the number one character that I wanted things to go well for, and I cared about her so much. And her fan service moments aren't as frequent or as often as other female characters, but she did have some, and they're incredibly memorable and amazing, and Shirley is one of the most attractive characters in anime. One of the greatest female anime characters of all time, one of the greatest fictional female characters of all time, in my opinion, and one of my favorite fictional characters of all time. I feel like I could just keep going on about how much she means to me. And I could understand why she wouldn't be a lot of people's number one, but I felt like she had to be my number one. And you can let me know if there are any really big characters in Code Geass that really stand out that you think are missing and should have been included.